This is Corley with Refugee Services of Texas. Did you leave a voicemail with us inquiring about volunteer opportunities?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Glad I could get back to you.
Well, the reason I called is I had read a report that you guys were about to start, accepting a bunch of Syrian refugees in. And
Right.
yeah, so I would assume it's going to be a lot, and so I was wondering what you needed help with, if that's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, let me explain a little bit about refugee resettlement to you and how it works, just so you can have a more broad understanding. But each year nationally for the U.S., there's a number that is a cap or a max for the amount of refugees that can come into the United States that year, and it's set by the President of the United States. So last year it was, our year ends September 30th, so we just started a new year, a new fiscal year for us. So last year it was 70,000, and this year it did increase to 85,000 with the anticipation of the United States taking more Syrian refugees.
Okay.
And so we have seen a few Syrian refugees here in Tarrant County, and a very small number come through to the U.S. so far. So that number is expected to increase. But for us here at the local agency, we are assigned refugee cases from a national organization. So while the national number of Syrians coming through is expected to increase, that information we won't know exactly how many we're going to get or what ethnicities or nationalities we get almost until it happens. We get an arrival notice about 2 or 3 weeks before someone is going to travel to the United States. So that's the point when we know.
Okay.
So, like I said, yeah. Did you see the article in the Star Telegram?
It may have been. I can't remember. I read so many different things.
Okay.
But it probably, I think so. I know it was recently,
right.
So.
Yeah. So, yes, we do expect more Syrian refugees to be coming through. We just don't know when or in what numbers or anything like that until about 2 or 3 weeks before their arrival.
Oh, okay. So, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say at that point, would you call people? What do you need?
Mm-hmm. When a refugee comes, their first 90 days in the United States, so their first 3 months, we give them services that are all designed towards helping them become self-sufficient and independent here in the United States. So we do everything from picking them up at the airport to finding and securing an apartment for them and setting up that apartment for them so it's livable when they first arrive. We help them by providing bus orientation and taking them to the Social Security office to apply for their Social Security card, helping them find employment. We have ESL classes and things like that. So volunteers. I'm sorry?
What did you say, the class? What was that?
Yeah, an ESL, English as a Second Language.
Oh, okay.
So they get 8 weeks of English class if their English level is low enough. All refugee cases look very different. There are some that come in with very high levels of English and don't need that help, but there are some that don't speak any English. So depending on the case, they do get that ESL class.
Yeah, that would be helpful and beneficial to help them.
Mm-hmm. So volunteers can help in a lot of ways. A lot of our volunteers help us with setting up apartments. So we provide the volunteer with a Walmart card, a Walmart gift card, and they go to Walmart and buy all the items that is needed for the refugee's apartment, and then they set set up the apartment. We have volunteers help with bus orientation and taking clients to the Social Security office and helping them through that process. We have volunteers. We have a donation room, so we have volunteers who help us organize the donation room and process our donations, which is mainly food and clothing that we get and then can pass on to our refugee clients. Trying to think if I'm leaving anything out. Oh, we also have, if you're interested in forming a relationship with a specific refugee family, we have a mentorship program where you could be paired with a specific person and then meet with them weekly for about 3 months and help them with anything from just sitting down and speaking English with them to, maybe you take them to a park or a bank and just teach them different things that we take for granted here in the United States.
Right.
But if any of this sounds interesting to you, we have volunteer orientations Wednesdays at 5:30, where I go more into detail about how volunteers can help, and I go more into detail about refugees and what the process looks like for them to come to the United States, and what we can do as Refugee Services of Texas to help them, and then get you started on the process of volunteering, if that sounds interesting to you.
Okay, possibly. Do you have any idea of when, I guess, I know you said you don't really know, but I mean, do you have a ballpark figure of when you're expecting these, people to be coming in, or?
Well, like I said, right now, we know about 2 or 3 weeks in advance who's coming. So right now we know through about the middle of November who's coming, and then each day, we may get more.
Wow, that makes it kind of hard to plan, huh?
It makes it very hard to plan. So working with refugee resettlement and being a volunteer for refugee resettlement definitely requires some flexibility.
Correct. Well, my schedule should be opening up the next couple of months, I would think.
Okay. If I could get your email, I can send you an email that gives you all the details on volunteer orientation. Like I said, they happen Wednesdays at 5:30, and if you can't come for a little bit, that would be fine. If you need to come in a month, if you can't come next week or the week after.
Okay.
But I would just need you to RSVP and let me know you're coming, because if no one RSVPs, I obviously don't stay and give volunteer orientation. But I will send you information on volunteer orientation. Do you have any more questions? Anything I didn't cover?
I don't really know. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if there's anything you can really tell me more if you don't know, when and how or whatever. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't have stats on future arrivals, if that is what you're most interested in.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
but no one.
A month or two before I can really get too involved.
Right. Right.
And then,
yeah.
Well, I guess, do you know if they're Christians or?
Every case is different. Some are, some aren't. Some have different religions. Some, don't have any at all, and so. I don't know the stats on how many are or aren't.
Okay, well,
but it just depends case to case.
You said setting up apartments. This would also be helpful.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of area would you be setting them up in? Here locally in Fort Worth, or would it be in like Hurst or Grapevine or?
Right now we have 3 apartment. Yeah, right now we have 3 apartment complexes that we work with, all in Fort Worth, and so. Those are just apartment complexes that we have relationships with, and they understand, when we have volunteers or furniture companies come in and set up apartments, they, let us in, they give us the keys before the resident arrives, which is something very special for apartment complexes to do for someone, and give us access to the apartment before the lease is signed, because the refugees, when they come and they arrive, they a few days after their arrival, they go and sign the lease. It's their own lease. It's their own responsibility. And so we have those. We have 3 here in Fort Worth, very close to our offices, which are near 20 and 35. If you know where that is. Okay.
You said
Yeah.
30 and 35 or 20 and 35?
20
okay.
and 35.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, great. Yeah, that's very close.
And then there's one other question I forgot. Oh yeah, as far as like setting, I mean, you guys help them set up for jobs and everything?
Yeah, we have different ways that we do that. We have, once they graduate from ESL class, they can come to a job readiness class that we have weekly. And so that is to get a lot of people together and to teach them about different things, about how to be professional in the United States, about how to fill out a job application and things like that. But then we also have employment case managers who, sit down with that refugee and help them fill out some job applications and take them to interviews, and know the employers in the area that are able to hire people with lower English skills and things like that. So we really help them find a job, again, just with that goal of self-sufficiency and independence.
Okay. And then in the meantime, I guess, how does their apartment, get taken care of and all that?
Every refugee receives a sum of money from the government that's welcome money. Okay. It's $925 per person.
Is that per month or?
No, that is a one-time sum.
Okay.
Once they arrive, they are eligible to sign up for a few. There are a few different. They would only be enrolled in one refugee cash assistance program, and the longest of those lasts just up to 8 months after their arrival.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they get that original sum to help them with, it's welcome money to help them with the arrival and getting the apartment set up, and then just a little bit afterwards.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else. I guess where you guys located, that would help.
Our address is 1801 Circle Drive. We're on the Resource Connection campus. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
Or TCC's South Campus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is right across the street from, the campus that we're on. So that's at campus and I-20. Yeah.
Yeah. On the street.
So we're right there. Yeah, it's very close.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Again, I'm Coralie. I'm the volunteer coordinator with Refugee Services of Texas, Fort Worth. And I'm going to send you an email, and if you can think of any more questions or if you want to know anything more about volunteering or anything that we do, just send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.